What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa channel, where I read you those cryptocurrency news articles so you don't have to. But yeah, welcome back. Sorry for being a little late today. It was just I was trying to hold out for more news. Today's going to be a slower news day. I really only have like 4, maybe 5 short articles for you to cover. And I want to go over how Donald Trump Jr. said on CNBC how their family really got into crypto out of necessity. So I'll play his quick little minute, 2-minute interview on CNBC so we can hear him talk about it. He calls the financial system a Ponzi scheme too. It's like, this is where we all been. Like, we were on the top where we can do anything we wanted. And then once we started getting politics, they took that status down. We became a regular guy. So he just talked about how they moved into cryptos out of a necessity. So we'll go over that quick little video for you. We'll also cover how the Bitcoin supply is shrinking tremendously out there. And then there's some more other pro Bitcoin news out there, pro crypto. South Korea just elected a pro crypto president, which is nice. Since yesterday we got word of Poland having now a Bitcoin pro president as well. So lots of good news in the crypto space going on. The pricing for altcoins, we are still waiting on it. It's kind of red in the altcoin space there, but that's okay. And again, I've explained my thoughts on where the market's going right now. It's just I believe we're not following traditional cycles anymore. A lot of people on social media or crypto influencers out there, they're still following the old cycle charts. So they still expect maybe an alt season to hit now. We'll have a dip and then a rise back in November. It's that's just how the old chart happened. But just everything I'm seeing is everything's just so focused on Bitcoin. I think alt season is just delayed, meaning I don't think we're not going to get an alt season. I just think it's going to be pushed back. Who knows, maybe next year. But again, we may even get it this summer too. But those are my thoughts on that. But let's go through the news and cover these little bit of articles we got. So first up, we're going to play Donald Trump Jr.'s talk on CNBC. So here we go. Let's play this. Let me get my volume up. So hopefully you guys can hear it pretty good. So here we go.
These things. The reason we got into crypto, and we're all in on crypto, and we're doing American Bitcoin, and we have World Liberty Finance and USD1, was because there was a time, and probably I'd been on this show, where I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked. And what I realized, and my brother realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that, you know what, we were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto. These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto, not because it was hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skyline of New York City, but that disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by New York State AG with $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipients of how quickly that can be shut off. And so it actually makes total sense. The Trump organization isn't doing anything with foreign countries. The first time around in the administration, we actually stopped doing all foreign deals. And unlike the Bidens, we were actually doing international business before we got into politics.
Yeah, let's just end that there. But no, it's they experience what the regular guy is. When we think of Trump, his history, and where he's led, they were in the upper hand. They got a lot of the perks that the rich guys did, but the little guy, we've always been scrutinized. We got to follow these rules from the financial system. Oh, if you got into crypto, no, you can't do that at all. We're gonna ban your account with the bank. So good luck. Go find another bank. We don't want to do business with you. And then you just you get in that category now. It's oh, and they can do that in an instant. That actually happened again, me with the Crypto Sherpa LLC, that business I had. Chase Bank just shut us down because we had crypto in the name. Back then, the banks wanted nothing to do with it. And they can flip on you like a switch. And it was okay, I still got to pay my bills. We got to pay this, we got to pay that, we got to pay that. And there was no option to do it. So Yeah, so like they realized that they needed crypto out of necessity because they saw the other shoe, they saw it, and now they're even saying like everybody needs to get in on it. Like it's just a necessity to do it because the way the world is and just how it's been playing so far, they need it. So yeah, so that's what Donald Trump Jr. had to say the other day, and I thought that was just great. It's like we see the guys up above, like have a lot of sway in the field, and it's just like they get it. They understand crypto. It's decentralized. They can't be stopped by a middleman or anything out there. So they realize, like, yeah, we got to get in on it. They did it, and now there's so much great changes happening coming around. So yeah, so love it, Donald Trump Jr. or Don Jr. Keep up the great work. You, your family, everyone's doing it. Just keep up the great work. So that was a little video I want to play for you. Now let's go into the news articles I have for you. Let's start off with about Bitcoin shrinking supply may trigger a price breakout. So yeah, don't be so worrisome about the pricing right now. Like we're at 105 Bitcoin, but again, every time we look at this chart, when we look at the yearly, but then we go to the monthly, it's still just sideways action. So, but again, like even though we're sideways action, that's good. There's no huge sway up. There's no huge sway down. But because of the shrinking of the supply out there, we may see a nice little spike because of it. So don't get scared and sell off your Bitcoin. Just keep holding it right now because the more news we got, it's just going to get harder and harder to get, and people will be paying premiums for it. So let's go through this article and learn a little bit more. So Bitcoin's liquid supply has fallen 30% in the last 18 months as institutional demand and new reserve strategies tighten the market, says Sygnum Bank. Now, Bitcoin circulating supply is tightening fast, setting the stage for potential price surges as demand continues to grow. According to Sygnum Bank's June 2025 monthly investment outlook, Sygnum analysis noted that Bitcoin's liquid supply had dropped by 30% over the past 18 months. Primarily driven by institutional adoption and the rise of Bitcoin's acquisition vehicles. Now, these entities include exchange-traded funds and corporate buyers, and they have steadily withdrawn coins from exchanges, a move typically seen as bullish because they're taking custody of their asset. Now, Bitcoin's fast-shrinking liquid supply is creating the conditions for demand shocks and upside volatility, said the report. So yeah, because the supply is shrinking, it's just leading us to the direction for the price to go up because you won't be able to get it. Like they're going from exchanges now, so eventually the exchange will deal with their side, or the big guys pull theirs, and then for the little guy out there, they go, oh wait, no, you can't use the site just now, or you can't pull your Bitcoin off the exchange because they don't got any more Bitcoin to do it. So the big guys are just going to be paying like premiums to be able to actually take control of their Bitcoin. But since the late 2023, Bitcoin balances on exchanges have fallen about 1 million Bitcoin. Now, the trend is accelerating as a growing number of funds issue equity or debt to purchase Bitcoin, further soaking up available supply. Now, at the same time, geopolitical and fiscal uncertainties, particularly around the weakening of the US dollar and ballooning US debt, drive investors toward crypto markets out there. And right now, here's a chart showing the Bitcoin dominance since, let's see, this was the last cycle. So when Bitcoin was at its peak, FTX collapse happened, and we had all those arrows, brought us all the way down for these last 3 years of the cycle. There was the bear run, but now here we're at, looking at that from January 1st. So Bitcoin's dominance is growing. Now, we do have 3 U.S. states approved for a Bitcoin reserve. Adding to the momentum, 3 U.S. states have recently passed legislation permitting Bitcoin reserves. We have New Hampshire, which has already signed such a bill into law, with Texas likely to follow soon. Because I remember, yeah, Texas only really needed just the governor to sign it, and it's boom, it's done. But meanwhile, international interest is growing. Sigmund highlighted that Pakistan's government and Reform UK, the party currently leading the UK election polls, have announced intentions to explore Bitcoin reserve strategies as well. Now, though official Bitcoin reserve purchases have yet to be materialized, Sygnum said that when these do begin, they could be a major catalyst for upward price movement, both because of the demand it creates and because of the signaling effect. Now, institutional buying isn't the only factor at play. Bitcoin's image as a safe haven asset is being reinforced by recent market dynamics, and the report pointed out to the sell-off in U.S. Treasuries amid deteriorating fiscal conditions, buoying demand for Bitcoin and gold in May. Now, Bitcoin's upside with the volatility outpacing its downside right now. Sigmund also flagged Bitcoin's improving volatility profile over the past 3 years. Upside volatility has outpaced the downside volatility, which is a sign of the market maturation and growing institutional involvement. Although over the full history of Bitcoin, downside shocks have often been greater than upside shocks. Over the past 3 years since June of 2022, Upside volatility has constantly exceeded downside volatility, the report said. Well, of course, like they chose the timeline when we were at the bottom of the bear market. Well, the true bottom was 2023. So from 2022 to 2023, you had that bottom, but then after that, boom, it started going up to new all-time highs. But Signum also mentioned that Ether is regaining momentum right now after years of underperformance. The recent Pectra upgrade has driven strong revenue growth and renewed interest from major financial institutions building tokenized platforms on Ethereum in its layer 2. So that's actually a little bullish settlement for the altcoin space out there, because if we do have an altcoin season, you want to pay attention to Ethereum. If Ethereum pumps, then all of that money will trickle down into the altcoins. So either some other ERC20 tokens built on Ethereum, we may start seeing some Solana coins even trickle down. That's how the cycles work. So when you still follow the old charts and everything, those are signals to look out for. So if Ethereum pumps, then we may actually see a altcoin season, and then my little prediction of it getting pushed back was just kind of squandered right there. But we just still got to wait to see what happens on there. But yeah, the supply is shrinking. Literally, exchanges lost 1 million Bitcoin in the last 18 months. So it just shows you there's a high demand. They're still like going for some of the exchanges liquidity out there, but soon they may have to be limited as well on those purchases. So there's a high demand, there's countries with their reserves, but we will see a true spike though when these these strategic reserves actually start buying up the Bitcoin. Like once they start doing that, we've seen a couple companies already do so. Price will be going to 120, 150, 200, 250. Like I said yesterday too, like Larry Fink mentioned, don't be surprised when we hit 700,000. It's getting there. It's definitely happening a lot faster than a lot of us expected. So I just want to make you aware of the shrinking supply happening on exchanges, because again, everything I'm saying, once these big guys can't go from miners, over-the-counter exchanges, peer-to-peer transactions, they'll be forced just to liquidate whatever is left on the exchanges. And that's, just be glad you're holding on your Bitcoin in your own wallet. So that's our Bitcoin shrinking news. Now let's move on to South Korea electing a pro-crypto candidate, Lee Myung, as the president. Now, Ivan on Tech mentioned this morning. He has a thing with pro-crypto candidates out there, because with elections you say a lot of stuff. So we really just got to wait and see how pro-crypto they really are, and if they're going to follow through. Like with Trump, we saw that he followed through. So anybody who had naysayers saying, no, he was just doing it for the election. Nope, he followed through with what he said. So now we're going to see what these other countries do as well. So Poland's new president is going to be putting some nice favors in, as well as South Korean president as well. So let's take a look at this news article. So Lee Jae-myung has plans to enable the state pension fund to invest in crypto-approved Bitcoin ETFs and launch a Korean-backed stablecoin. So South Korea's opposition leader, Lee Jae-myung, has been sworn in as president following a decisive snap election victory. After campaigning on a platform that included a range of pro-crypto policies, Lee claimed victory in the June 3rd election, which was held 6 months after the country's previous leader, Yoon Suk-yeol, who declared martial law and threw the nation into political chaos. Was Yoon Suk-yeol ever in the crypto space? I feel like I covered a couple articles of him back in the day. But okay, so I guess his time is over. But with 99% of the votes counted on June 4th, the center-left Democratic Party's Lee fetched over 49% of the votes against the 41% won by the rival Conservative People Power Party candidate Kim Moon-soo. Now, according to the National Election Commission, Reuters reported that almost 80% of South Korea's 44.4 million eligible voters cast their ballots in the highest turnout for a president election since 1997. So people went out there to vote. Now here is that election poll where Sung-yak Myung won the 49.42% and the vice versa. Now, Satoshi's Action Fund founder Dennis Porter, who was in South Korea on election day, said the turnout figure was wild, while noting that Lee has committed to allowing South Korea's $884 billion national pension fund to invest in Bitcoin and crypto, and has also promised to allow the launch of a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund. Now, Lee also has ambitions to launch a Korean won-backed stablecoin to modernize the country's financial system and stem capital outflows. He said that we need to establish a won-backed stablecoin market to prevent national wealth from leaking overseas, he said during a policy discussion in May. So it looks like other countries too are going to be working on their own stablecoins, so that way they're not so reliant on the US dollar value stablecoin out there. But Kim also ran a campaign that supported the launch of a spot crypto ETF and pledged to ease regulations and expand crypto's adoption. Now, Bitcoin's price spiked 149,000 won, which was about 108,500 US dollars on the country's leading exchange, Bithumb and Upbit, as the so-called kimchi premium saw the asset trade almost 2% higher compared to the global exchanges, where it topped around 106,600 before retreating slightly. Now, Lee is also to tackle a raft of policy decisions. He said that he's taking office at South Korea and he's facing significant challenges, including economic struggles with rising living costs, ongoing trade negotiations with the US, and regional geopolitical tensions. Now, it's not clear how high he will prioritize his crypto-related promises, but in addressing crowds of supporters in the country's capital of Seoul, Lee promised to work to restore the economy from day one and to ensure military coup-ops are a thing of the past. Now, Lee has promised to focus on an economic recovery through increased investments in artificial intelligence and defense to depoliticize the prosecution system and also introduce social changes, including a 4.5-day work week. Oh, interesting. So yeah, so it looks like he's got a couple things he wants to tackle on there. And yeah, so stable coins, at least for the won-backed stable coin, as well as what was the other thing he wanted to do with the cryptocurrency? He was going to go for a crypto ETF to slowly start acquiring it there. So hopefully he eventually just wants to get real Bitcoin instead of an ETF version of it, but we'll see how he plays out. So that's our new South Korean president. He's elected, and we'll take a look and follow and see what he does and how beneficial he is to the crypto community and blockchain community itself. Now, next up, we're going to be having we'll be talking about the Bank of Kazakhstan launching a crypto card pilot to boost its coin turnover. But beforehand, John Morgan, good morning, brother. Thank you for tuning in today. Short show today because it's not too much news going on, so we got about 3 more hours to cover. But we're about to talk about now the Bank of Kazakhstan launching a crypto card, so it's getting easier to spend your crypto out there. Sure, we just saw Stake Shack accept Bitcoin, so that's even better. You just go boom, scan your Lightning wallet, pay it, done. But here's some other ways to actually make it a little bit easier. And you can use these cards anywhere to buy goods, gas, services, and you can use your crypto for it. So they're just making it a little bit easier for the average user who's not so crypto friendly, but at least giving them an ability to use their crypto in everyday life. So let's hear about this article. So the Central Bank of Kazakhstan has given the go-ahead for a project, the issue crypto cards allowing users to spend digital coins where fiat is accepted. Now, the pilot is part of a series of initiatives aimed at expanding cryptocurrency circulation in the country, including the issue of stable coins and a tokenization of assets. Now, the National Bank of Kazakhstan starts crypto cards project. The Monetary Authority has announced the launch of a pilot that will provide citizens of the Central Asian nation with the opportunity to spend their cryptocurrencies practically anywhere regular payment cards are accepted. Now, the news came from a meeting in the Almaty, Kazakhstan's largest city, during which the central bank discussed upcoming projects to offer financial services based on digital assets with representatives of commercial banks, crypto exchanges, and fintech companies. Now, participants reviewed the progress made in implementing President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev's directive to develop the country's digital asset industry, and his order resulted from Astana's decision to expand rather than restrict the circulation of cryptocurrencies. Now, discussions focused on the status of various projects to introduce financial services based on digital assets and tokenize other assets. Officials also consider the integration of such assets into the traditional financial system and the development of relevant regulations. Now, the crypto cards will be linked to wallets hosted by licensed providers of digital asset services like the cryptocurrency exchange Astana International Financial Center, the National Bank of Kazakhstan, and they also explained a little bit more in the press release. But thus, users will be able to make non-cash payments at merchants accepting fiat using the balances of their crypto wallets. The digital coins will be instantly converted to local currency, and settlements will be processed by the crypto platform and commercial banks working together. Now, the NBK insisted that this solution provides the ability to safely and conveniently integrate the circulation of digital assets in the existing payment infrastructure. Now, the crypto cards mechanism provides for the sale of the client's digital assets on the AIFC crypto market at the time of the payment transactions. Now, the regulator elaborated, noting that, in fact, the payment will be made using real money after the immediate sale of the crypto asset. So the consumer at the end of it will be just getting cash in the end. So it's really beneficial more to the spender, because now you get to spend your crypto on the goods or service you want without having to sell it, withdraw to your bank account, and now you spend it that way. So it's helping them out. It's more beneficial though if like just the both parties just accepted the Bitcoin, they held it in their treasury. It's like a boom, win-win. I spent my Bitcoin and crypto to pay for a service. You're holding on to it to keep your business in place. So yeah, so hopefully eventually everyone will get to there, but this is a starting off point of just the slow adoption of it just in the real world and everybody using it. Now, Kazakhstan plans to issue a stablecoin and tokenized asset. Now, the government of Kazakhstan has a number of other crypto and fintech projects in the pipeline this year. The MBK revealed these include the issue of stablecoins secured by a national currency in both its original form and the digital tenge. Now, authorities in Astana also plan to tokenize financial assets like real estate and issue digital versions of regular securities. The central bank said it wants to set up a system facilitating the storage of collateral for digital financial assets and organized exchange and storage services for cryptocurrencies. Now, Kazakhstan has been a major Bitcoin mining hotspot for years, but has until recently maintained a quite conservative approach regarding its growing crypto sector. Now, the crypto card's launch comes after taking other steps to relax the country's crypto policy in the past months. The MBK highlighted that together with interest government agencies, the National Bank has drafted legislation or legislative amendments to ensure the expansion of the turnover of an unsecured digital asset and the creation of a regulatory framework for digital financial assets. And then in May, Monetary Authority also announced that the crypto trading will be legalized outside the jurisdiction of the AFC hub through a licensing regime for cryptocurrency exchanges. Also, last month, President Tokayev unveiled a plan to test crypto payments in a pilot zone called the Crypto City. So, and even in the past 3 years alone, Kazakhstan has received $35 million in taxes from crypto mining's industry. But according to its Deputy Minister of Digital Development, Kanish Tulushin, the country can potentially collect 10 times more annually if it adopts a favorable crypto rule. So they were probably going to be good in line to like make some more favorable rule changes out there, because from what they just collected out there, if they can make 10 more times from that, they're totally going to make the changes, make it a little bit pro-friendly. And yeah, it just makes it friendlier for everyone to want to do business there, have their miners, enjoy their crypto and it all. So it's just a win-win if they just do it. And they should. If they're following suit like the US is doing, then they will be definitely successful, because everybody wants this change. Like, this is a global change going around the world. And it's just like how Don Jr. said it. It's like it's a necessity that everybody needs. So it's pretty cool that this turnover is happening with the crypto cards and they're doing their pilot program. So yeah, pretty cool. Way to go, Kazakhstan. Now let us continue on with a commercial ad. Yeah, let's play actually a quick commercial ad, give my little voice a little rest, and then I'll be back to finish off these final two news articles, with the next one being California passes bill to accept crypto for state payments. So yes, that'll be right next after this ad.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around $94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. All right, let's finish off these final two articles and then we'll continue on with our day. It is rainy here in Sarasota and I love it. I just have a nice cup of coffee after my smoothie, of course. But no, I love rainy days. Got some nice jazz music playing, sipping my coffee, getting work done as the rain falls. I love it. So it's not always sunny here in Florida, but a majority of the time it is. But so when we get these rainy sessions, I love it. But yeah, let's continue on with the news and let's talk about this California bill that just got passed. So the California State Assembly passed a bill that would allow state agencies to accept crypto for payments in a unanimous 68-0 vote, which will now head to the Senate for more approval. So California has taken a step closer toward embracing crypto after a bill allowing the state departments to accept digital currency sailed through the state's lower house with unanimous votes and is now headed for the Senate. Now, this is Assembly Bill 1180, which passed the California State Assembly on June 2nd with a 68-0 vote on its third reading. Now, this would require the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation to develop rules permitting state fees and transactions under the Digital Financial Asset Law to be payable in crypto. Now, the DFPI is California's regulatory agency tasked with the overseeing financial services and protecting consumers while promoting responsible innovation, and individuals and entities conducting crypto businesses activity in the state must obtain a license from the DFPI. Now, here is the Bitcoin launch tweeting about that, how they just passed the bill. You can see him in the office doing so. Now, if AB 1180 clears the Senate and is signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom, the bill would become effective on July 1st, 2026. Now, according to the bill's sponsor, Democratic Assembly member Avelino Valencia, a pilot program would run until January 1st, 2031. So they're going to try it out for 5 years. Now, when it would become fully operational. Now, if AB 1180 is passed, California could join the likes of Florida, Colorado, and Louisiana that have accepted crypto payments for certain obligations in the recent years. Now, California's bill required the DFPI to submit a report by January 1st, 2028, detailing all crypto transactions processed in addition to any technical and regulatory challenges encountered. Now, crypto transactions under the DFAL are defined as any digital representation of value that is used as a medium of exchange, but is not legal tender. Now, AB 1180 saw 4 amendments before being passed by the California Assembly on June 2nd. The most notable exclusion concerning a section that sought to define terms related to ride-sharing companies and personal vehicle used for transportational services. Now, the Bitcoin rights bill is also in the works. So AB 1180 seeks to complement AB 1052, known as the state's Bitcoin rights bill, which is focused on laying out crypto self-custody rights for the state's nearly 40 million residents. Now, AB 1052 was passed in the first Assembly Committee in a unanimous 11-0 vote on May 23rd and has been ordered to a third reading. Now, the bill would also deem to use digital financial assets as a valid and legal form of payment in the private transactions and wouldn't prohibit public entities from restricting or taxing digital assets solely based on their use as payment. Now, a total of 117 merchants currently accept Bitcoin payments in California, according to BTC Maps from data. Oh, if we click on this, is this going to take us there? Let's see. Find places to spend your Bitcoin. No. Well, this is a site, guys. If you want to look up where you can spend your Bitcoin at, yeah, check out btcmaps.org, and yeah, it'll take you to your location. You can see who's accepting this. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, so California is making its way on some changes out there. So again, it's not the best place to be. To me, it's still home. I grew up there for the first 32 years of my life. So it's always a place, it's always just going to be home. I grew up in it. I know the people there. So it's just like, California is what it is. But these changes are nice to be more crypto friendly. And yeah, we'll just see how California fares with the other states out there, because if this bill passes again, they'll be on pars with Florida and Colorado, and it's just slowly moving there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if eventually they also want to get a state reserve, which they definitely should, as well as all 50 states. But that's our California news and what's happening there. Now let's move on to our final article, talking about how Australia limits crypto ATM transactions to only 5,000 AUD in a bid to curb scams and money laundering. Because scams are still favoring crypto ATM machines out there. They fool just not so well-knowledge people in the crypto space who don't understand any of it. They usually lead them to a crypto exchange. They provide them with a QR code to scan and tell them, oh, go to here, put your money in, and then scan the QR code. That's where we're going to get it. So usually those people can lose out of like $10, $20, $30,000 like with these ATMs. So it looks like Australia is just trying to limit it to at least hopefully just limit the losses that come with these crypto scams. So let's hear about this. So Australia has introduced new rules to regulate crypto ATMs in order to safeguard its citizens from the financial risks associated with the technology. The Australian Tech Transaction Reports and Analysis Centre, AUSTRAC, has now enforced a deposit and withdrawal limit of AUD 5,000, which is roughly 2.8 lakh, or I wonder what that would be in US dollars. But that's what they can pull out and buy in crypto ATMs now. The Australian regulator believes that this strategy could curb crypto scams and frauds, especially those targeting elderly individuals in the country. Now, citing details collected from 9 crypto ATM service providers, the government-backed financial intelligence agency said that the use of crypto ATMs is dominated by individuals over the age of 50, who account for nearly 72% of the total transaction value. The agency highlighted that elderly individuals are purchasing cryptocurrencies via cash, with many falling prey to these scams and fraudulent schemes. So surprisingly, the 60 to 70 age group were identified as the ones that are most prolific users of crypto ATMs in Australia, said Brendan Thomas, CEO of AUSTRAC. And honestly, it's like they're also like the main Democrat here as well. We have a crypto ATM outside of our club, and I see the users who use it. Some I try to prevent them from using it because it just feels like it's a scam. So like we're kind of here like the front lines to try to help prevent people from doing it, but some people still just go with it anyways. We give our full warning on it, just letting them know what our thoughts happen, and they still fall for it. And then hopefully our ATM like eventually stops them, because with our crypto ATM by federal, they require you, or they want you to send it to your own personal wallet out there, no one else's wallet or crypto like QR code out there. If they do catch that you do it, they'll ban your account. So that's kind of their way of fighting these scamming projects out there. But no, yeah, so this is definitely the age group where these people usually fall under for these crypto types of scams. But between 2019 and 2024, Australia witnessed a notable surge in crypto ATM installations, rising just from 23 in 2019 to over 1,200 in 2024. So that was a huge spike. Now, at the present time, Australia houses an estimated 1,800 active machines, and data also shows that nearly 150,000 transactions are processed via these crypto ATMs annually, accounting for funds around 275 million AUDs. Now, the vast majority of those transactions, about 99% of them, are cash deposits for the purchase of cryptocurrencies, mostly Bitcoin, Tether, and Ethereum, the agency revealed. Now, despite the evident rise in the use of crypto ATMs, AUSTRAC claims to have observed worrying and disturbing trends in the compliance statuses of firms behind these crypto ATMs. The crypto task force within the AUSTRAC recently refused to renew the registration of crypto ATM operator called Haros Empires after identifying exploitation risks related to the company's operations. The agency is now taking active measures to spread awareness around the risk associated with using crypto ATMs within Australia. And to do this, educational materials are being placed alongside the ATMs that will help readers understand the risks involved, identify fraudulent schemes, and also understand the right ways to report any suspicious activity. Now, that's good and all with it, but the thing is, like, these people will see the warning, but they already got the trust they already built a trust with a scammer. So they want to believe that this person is either their husband, boyfriend, lover, interest. It's always a romance scam out there. But like they already built their trust. And when they're talking to the ATM or they see these warnings, they go, oh, no, I know this person. I'm sending it. It's not a scam at all. So it makes me very worrying when I hear that kind of stuff and see it happen. So, but yeah, crypto can be a high risk investment out there. We all know that, but I would warn everybody who asks to use one of these machines to send funds to someone just to stop, think twice, as your money is gone and it's basically impossible to receive it. So just again, be very cautious out there when you're using crypto ATMs. And again, like it's not the best way to buy your crypto or Bitcoin because they charge like 30% up. So it'd be better just to go through the process, do a KYC with some exchange or platform, do your purchase there, and it'll be a lot cheaper than having to deal with an ATM. But what else is going on in this article? In March, the Australian Treasury Department proposed a legislative framework to monitor the businesses and operation of crypto exchanges, custody services, and brokerage firms. More development on these regulations is expected to happen once the proposal laws have been received. Feedback from the stakeholders of the crypto sector. Now, as far as crypto ATMs are concerned, these machines have time and again been flagged as high risks, means being exploited or to facilitate illicit transactions. Last year, for instance, blockchain intelligence firm TRM Labs said that the rate of illicit activities involving crypto ATMs is doubling. So it's just, these machines are risky to use. Like, you can use them to buy Bitcoin from it, you're paying a high fee, but if you honestly do not know, if you're not buying it for yourself, just be very cautious about it. Yeah, so that was basically the whole article. Yeah, so be cautious with the machines. If you want to do it, go for it, but it only better be for yourself. If someone told you to go to a crypto ATM, deposit the money, they provide you with a QR code, stop right there. Just don't even send any money over there. Just let the person know that it's like you won't do it because you don't feel comfortable doing it. And just that's as far as you can get. But just be very careful out there. Be cautious with everyone online. Scammers are in full force as crypto's adoption still accelerates even more. We haven't gotten much news lately about like any more scams happening, but they still are occurring every day. So stay vigilant on just whatever you do online. So just be safe. So that is it for the news, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was quick, and we still got a 36-minute video out of it. So Bitcoin's price is currently at $105,413. Let's take a look at our fear and greed index. We are at 57, so still we're actually moving down. So we're just getting a nice little neutral territory. So people are still maybe a little bit fearful of everything going on, but no, from like what we can tell from just the Trump team talking about it's a necessity, how we've seen the Bitcoin supply shrinking and everything. It's just, this is not the time to sell, guys. Just keep hodling, keep stacking your sats, and just you will be good in the long run. So everyone have a great day. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully at noon on time. But again, we never know with my show, but I will always shoot for noon, and I will see you again. So peace. Love ya.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges. It's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.